Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new here. Today I am finally going to be sitting down and closing out my budget for the month of November. Usually by now, or what I usually try to do, is have whatever I can filled out, but like I said, I've been procrastinating on this. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys my process and what I do first. If you can find time, like 5 minutes, just go ahead and pre-fill out all of your budget categories here because there's a lot of sheets in here. Let me unclip this. We're going to go ahead and start with the Where Did My Money Go worksheets, but I am also going to be filling out the debt payment plan sheet and the monthly net worth tracker. So whatever you can get filled out, fill it out, because that will save you some time. That's what I'm going to go ahead and do first, is just go ahead and fill out the things that I need to fill out. Let me go ahead and just get started with that one first, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so now that everything is pre-filled out, I did the ones I know for sure I could do ahead of time. This is usually what I would do. As for the monthly budget, this one I wouldn't be able to do until I set up paycheck number 2, or last paycheck budget for the month. I also had to go back to my old budget by Paycheck Workbook and grab some info from there. That was actually the last time I wrote in the monthly net worth tracker, so I for sure need to go ahead and do this. I also went into our accounts and checked to see what we had in there. That way I can just plug that in as well. And then same thing for my debt payment plan, which thankfully we don't have a lot anymore. So after that, I am just going to just start off with just top to bottom, just filling everything out. So we're going to start with the Where Did My Money Go monthly budget category breakdown. And I'm going to go ahead and clip some things over here in a little bit because it's a lot of pages to kind of go back and forth. So I'm going to start with the starting balance, which you guys will find in your expense tracker. So this is my checking account. So $1387.03 is what we had left over from the previous budget, which was October. So $1387.03. But I also know we had cash that we carried over as well, and I made a separate expense tracker. So we had $202 on there. So our total starting balance was $1,589.03. And this amount is actually written down as well. I'm going to go ahead and just clip this. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and just clip this on here so I don't have to go through all those pages. So that amount that we carried over our starting balance is actually written down here. So the leftover cash and leftover from our checking account. So I have to make sure I don't include that later on again in the incoming income because I already wrote it down here. I don't know if that makes sense. But so incoming income after what our starting balance is. So now I'm going to go ahead and add up my husband's paycheck. So 2203.26, or 26 cents, I mean. Okay, that's the first paycheck budget. So his paycheck, I'm going to skip these two here. And then we did get a refund from an application. We applied for life insurance with another company, but it didn't work out. So we're going to try again next year. And then I also added money from our sinking funds as well. So that's for paycheck number 1. So paycheck number 2, this one was a little small because my husband did get injured and he was out of work. Thankfully though, we did have our state disability insurance check cover that later on. And then Christmas fund we did put in there as well. And I'm not counting the leftover because it's not technically incoming income. It's just what was left over from the previous budget. Because if I add that, we're going to be all over. So yeah, so our incoming income, $3,541.90. And that will give us a total monthly income of, and I hope I do everything correctly. We'll find out at the end. If we don't, you'll see me trying to figure out where it went wrong because I have done that before. So that's our total monthly income. So now we're going to go ahead and calculate all of our expenses for the month. And if you do everything correctly, if you closed out your paycheck number 1 and paycheck number 2, everything balanced, all the dollars are accounted for, this part should be easy, or that's eventually I learned, because I stopped trying to add up my expense trackers. So instead of adding everything up here again, you pretty much have everything, depending on how you use your expense trackers. If you pretty much just balance out in paycheck number 1 and paycheck number 2, all you have to do is just add those 2 numbers up. So that's what I'm gonna do right now. And then after everything on here is all filled out, I'm now just going to go ahead and add everything up with our monthly expenses and hope and pray that everything balanced out. I'm pretty sure I'm going to have money left over. It really should be a 0 balance at the end because I am doing a 0-based budget, but most of the time I have money being transferred over to the next budget. Plus, sometimes I just don't feel comfortable leaving, I don't know, 0 in my account. There have been times where I transfer our savings the night before we get paid again, just so I don't leave my account with like close to a 0 balance. I don't know, that's just me. So I also opted out of the overdraft protection or the overdraft thing, so my card will decline if something gets charged and I don't have any money in there. I don't want to pay those overdraft fees, so I'd rather my card decline. So we spent $4,558.53, and now if I subtract that from, so I'm just going to write on the side here. So our monthly income was $5,030.93 minus our expenses. I really hope it all works out. I have a feeling that I was talking too much, just not paying attention. We'll see. So it says we have a leftover amount of $572.40. So now I'm going to go ahead and check to see what we had for December, what we actually had left over. And this was from our checking account at the time, and then the leftover cash that we had, $522.44. So I'm off by $49.96. Trying to see if I added everything correctly. Let me look. Yeah, so my leftover check at the time in my checking account was $475, and then we had $47 in cash left over. So $49.96. Oh, you know what? It was our savings. So we actually had, okay, I always forget about my auto save. That's every 23rd of the month, $50 get deducted. So this is going to change by $50. So this one's actually going to be $46.08.53. And I think had that been highlighted, I probably wouldn't have missed it. So yeah, I forgot to count our savings here. So, okay. So I'm going to just erase that. So $46.08.53. So now I'm pretty sure I'm going to be off just by a couple cents, which I'm totally okay with. So $522.40, which I actually think is exactly, I was off by a couple cents. So this is what was calculated from here, and then I'm just going to write down actual was So 475 and 44 cents and 47. So actual was 522.44. Just so I know. Now this is all done and completed. This worksheet right here is actually the most time consuming. And I think once you get this done, everything else will go smoothly, hopefully. I've actually been timing myself, and right now it's been 58 minutes since I started filming this video. So, and getting everything, all the information and everything. So anyways, moving on to where did my money go with the debt and savings breakdown. This is actually getting easier to fill out because we don't have as much debt anymore to calculate, or the payoff wise. So monthly income, you just plug in what you have over here on this side. Monthly debt payoff, I'm just gonna go ahead and put 0 because that $5 that's here, that's just for a fee. It's not an actual debt. And we actually didn't put anything towards our student loan. So that one was kind of easy. That's just 0. And then for our savings, so again, you put your income up here for your total monthly income, and then total monthly savings at $50 is just going into our savings account, which I consider a sinking fund. We actually didn't put anything in our emergency fund. So this one's going to be $50, which it's not even like a percent. It was like 0.09% saved. So 0.09% saved, $50 went into our savings, and then now is this part over here. So monthly income change, I actually had my October, I pulled it out so I can do this. And with this one, for October, I didn't even fill everything out. I just did the monthly expenses on here. My total monthly income for October, I'm just gonna write that on here. So October income was $7,461.19, and that included refund on there, and I think we transferred money from our sinking funds and all of savings and stuff and paychecks. So that's what that income was. And then our November total income is $51.30.93. So $51.30.93. So the change in that is pretty kind of big. So $2,330.26. And then for the month of October, I'm gonna put down that it was 28 days. So if you're a budget by paycheck budgeter and you budget bi-weekly, I'm pretty sure you're doing 28 days as well. Yes, no, maybe, I don't know. And then for November, it was 25 days because I decided to start our December budget a little bit earlier because of how my husband's payment came in with his state disability insurance. So that's why that's 3 days less. So now what I'm gonna do is just plug in the numbers that I have here from our October spending. Okay, so I went ahead and just filled out this column here as well. What I like about this monthly spending comparison is that you can see the difference between what you spend in October versus November. And sometimes what I usually like to do when I'm kind of analyzing or reflecting on this, if I significantly spent so much more in one month or something, I will write down like what it was that we had going on. If we had maybe like a party or something, or an unexpected expense or something like that, I'll write it down. But for now, I'm just gonna leave it as is. I think though, the one thing I do need to for sure take a look at is the miscellaneous category and see if there's anything in there that needs to go into any of these categories. I was kind of using the miscellaneous budget as like a buffer, or like if something really doesn't belong in any other categories, that's what it's for. So I'll do that later on. That's all nice and filled out. This is all filled out. This is filled out. Again, this one is the one that just took up most of the time. And going back to the debt payment plan on here. So if you guys go back to my very first Budget by Paycheck workbook, when I filled this out, this was mostly all filled out. So I'm really happy that it's just looking like this right now. So our balance for our federal loan, or I should say mine because it's my student loan debt, is $13,219.52. And we didn't do any extra debt payments, or we didn't even pay this month. We did suspend it. So this is going to be zero. Our monthly progress is going to be zero. And then the total amount of debt that we did start with when I decided, or when my husband and I decided to tackle our debt, was $46,029. This was in June of 2018 dollars. Or what am I saying? June of 2018. And so this month's debt balance, $13,219. I know it looks like we're moving kind of slow. It's been 2.5 years now. But we have cash funded a lot of big expenses, medical, travel, and Christmas now, car maintenance and all that stuff. So I'm just thankful that we didn't have to go back into debt. So that's a win for us. So overall debt progress, so our starting debt minus our current balance. So we have paid off a total of $810. Oh my God, what am I saying? We have paid off a total of $32,810. So I'm just going to go ahead and get the percentage of that we paid off. So far we have paid off 71% of our debt. I really love this debt payment plan because I was always seeing how much we started with and the progress that we're making every month. So this is a really nice worksheet to have, I think. Okay, so moving on to the monthly net worth tracker. Date of review, I'm just gonna put today's date. This is the numbers that we currently have. That's what I grabbed. So December 16th right now. In our checking account, this is what I have. Cash, we have $520. That actually still needs to go into our sinking funds. And in our savings right now is $5,715. Sinking funds, these are actually all in cash envelopes right now. And then our 2 cars, they're paid off. And these are the Kelly Blue Book values of them. It's kind of sad to see my car is only worth this much, but it has a lot of cosmetic damage and it's really old, has a lot of miles on it. But for me, it's golden because it still runs and gets us from point A to point B. So our total assets right now is $16,246.71. And this is the first time where we actually have our assets more than our liabilities. We've always been at a negative. This is kind of cool to see. So our total liabilities, it's just we don't have a mortgage, we rent. So it's just my student loans here. Can't wait to tell my husband this. So 13,219. Oh my gosh. So 16,246.71 minus 13,219.52. So we're actually in the positive at $3,027.19. Next month might actually be lower because we still have some bills that need to be taken out from there. So yeah, this is kind of cool to see in the positive. So can't wait to tell my husband that. So anyways, yeah, that is pretty much it for this budget closeout. I hope I explained the process pretty well and that you guys got a good idea on how to fill it out if it's your first time. Just going back to my recording or my stopwatch on here, it's been about an hour and 15 minutes since I started recording and filling this all out. So I think that probably would have been faster if I wasn't recording or having to stop and all of that. But yeah, that is pretty much it for this video. I really hope that this was helpful. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask me in the comment section down below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will talk to you in the next video. Have a good one, guys.